Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 2. It's called The Justice Society of America. Full spoilers for the episode will follow. So we were pleasantly surprised with Episode 1, because Season 1 got to a pretty dire place by the end of the season, and we were not particularly
Yeah,
excited.
especially when, okay, so this episode is the JSA,
hmm
and that's kind of the cliffhanger we ended on at the end of last season. And you can go back to our videos if you want to see my reaction. But I'm pretty sure it was along the lines of, God damn it, I hate this because they're going to ruin my favorite superhero team.
Yes, it was crying because they are going to mess this up. That was the gist of the end of last season on this review show. But episode 1 was pretty good for the most
Hmm.
part, and episode 2 was also pretty good. In fact, the opening 5 minutes, the opening scene, was actually really great.
They didn't ruin the JSA. I'm kind of shocked.
They had the JSA kick the living crap out of the Legends. They get beat instantly because the JSA work better as a team and they're experienced and they know what they're doing,
And they're just
and
cool.
they're cooler. But they sell the idea that the Legends are a group of misfits who have barely learned to work together, which makes sense because, in fact, at one point in this episode, Sarah says something about them always getting the job done, and then I was like, I don't know if that's right, do you? But then as she was walking away, she dropped a line like, that's it when we don't. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad you dropped that line because you didn't do that good last season. I
Yeah, I
remember
feel like
this.
is this the same writers as last season? Because they feel far more aware and critical of the problems of the first season.
They do seem in that, don't they? But one thing I do want to point out is that opening scene when the JSA are beating up the Legends. A lot of it looked very good. There was a lot of nice sweeping camera motions. The music was really great. I feel like I guess the JSA theme
Yeah,
uh, was really good. Music was
yeah, it
good. So
was.
opening few minutes really got me like pumped for the rest of the episode. It was like, no, this is really strong start.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it might still be my favorite 5 minutes of the episode, but it wasn't like it was a letdown after that.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It's probably my favourite part of the episode too. But yeah, also worth noting, we had Stein do the intro last week, and we thought, oh, Stein's doing it now. Maybe that's a sign that Rip will be gone for a while. But Sarah did it this week, so it seems like they're going to cycle through all the characters for the opening.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
So season one is all Rip. He was the captain, and this sets up the idea that Stein has kind of been the default like leader for now. And now that we're settled on Sarah, I feel like she's going to do it every episode.
See, here's the thing. Here's where I disagree with this. This whole Stein's the leader bollocks didn't happen till this episode. Had it happened last episode, and in this episode we decided on Sarah being the new captain, I would agree.
Sure, but I feel like they were just they planned ahead and retroactively put that in. Like
I,
they knew that that's where this was going by the time they recorded that dialogue.
I feel like a bet.
Oh, okay.
I want to bet you that next week it's not Sarah doing the intro.
I'll take that bet.
I don't know what the stakes are yet. I'll think of something.
I think just the knowledge of one of us was right and one of us wasn't is good stakes, to be honest.
I don't know which one it'll be, but it'll be someone other than Sarah. They're going to cycle through. It'll either be Ray or Jax or whoever. It'll be one of them.
I think it's Sarah now, unless in the episode she steps down as captain for
No,
some
that's
reason.
stupid. No, we're not going to change captain every single
No,
episode.
that's what I mean. Unless that happens, I think it's Sarah now, and as long as she's captain.
Nah, they're cycling through. Right. Bets have been laid, lines have been drawn, and I will be victorious next week.
We shall see.
Well, I'll probably watch the episode first. If you see some just random smiley faces coming from me, you'll know that you've lost.
That's true.
So the rest of the episode, so the Legends aren't, or sorry, the JSA aren't very happy with the Legends being here. They're suspicious of them. They think they're a group of morons. Some fun stuff pops up though. They just assume that Stein is the leader because he's an old white guy, as everyone points out, and that was good fun. But they convinced them that they should leave because they're interrupting with things, and the JSA's got this essentially. And of course, we find out that Commander Steele is the grandfather of Haywood, who's the new historian on the team. Who I think you were going to start calling Commander Steel until they introduced the original's Commander Steel, and then it's just confusing.
It's like, okay, so it's clearly it says in this episode he's going to be Commander Steel.
Oh yeah, because by the end of the episode he gets injected with stuff that makes him a super soldier.
Right, so it's like, okay, so he is Commander Steel and he's going to be that, but now we've got both of them. So it's like, now we have to differentiate.
Yeah.
Which, I will say, I love that we have both of them because it's so JSA to have that
Yes.
family legacy.
But I feel like the new one we can still refer to as Haywood, because we know him as that first, and he'll develop into his role. So
Yeah.
it just makes more sense to do that way. But yeah, so we find all that stuff and they leave. But then, of course, they leave, and Haywood's dog tags that he got from his grandfather, well, passed down through his father, disappear, implying that the JSA all die. And they look it up and find out that it's the next day after they left.
What I don't get is
Why does he
how-
not instantly disappear as well?
yeah, it's like one or the other. So you can't have it gradual.
Well, so it's funny, until they revealed his condition, I can't remember what they call it.
Hemophilia.
There you go, thank you. Where he doesn't heal properly because his blood doesn't clot the same way that everyone else's does. Even though a blood clot sounds like a bad thing.
This is,
Yeah.
perfectly normal.
Yes.
Well, it's not uncommon, this condition.
Yeah, it's a condition that,
Yeah.
a reasonable amount of people have.
Yeah.
But until they revealed that's what it was, I was thinking his injuries that were sticking around were like something to do with him being erased from the timeline. Because there was a bitchin' Back to the Future reference in this episode. I don't know if you caught it.
I don't think I did.
It's when they're infiltrating the Nazi party,
Right.
and Stein's impersonating this famous singer that Hitler liked, and the Nazi makes him go up and do a song. Before he starts the song, he turns around to the band and says, watch for the tempo and try to keep up, or something to that effect. It's the exact line that Marty says in Back to the Future when he's about to do Johnny Be Good.
Now you say it, I can't really remember.
It's the exact line. Oh, it's perfect little reference.
But no, I didn't quite think it was him being erased from history. I thought the Nazis had done something to their weapons. Because, I think the one where it's noticed is she says, oh, you got cut by the Nazis and it's still bleeding. I assume there was some sort of poison on the blade keeping it open.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's a fair assumption to make. Actually, on this point, since we're talking about them, because Sarah and Haywood interact a couple of times during the episode. Do you know what I liked about those scenes? Last season, had a man and a woman shared a screen together, it would have been because there's a brimming romance on the horizon. Right?
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like that was the case here, and at least if it did, it felt like they were developing character from plot rather than forcing in awkward relationship. It's the same with Ray and Vixen. It almost felt like they were hinting that maybe Ray and Vixen might have a thing down the line, but it didn't feel like they were putting in forced relationship dialogue into it rather than what they did with him and Kendra last season, where every single conversation was the exact same thing.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say again, I think I said it last week, but god damn it, I love Fun Sarah so much.
Oh yeah, Fun Sarah's great. In fact, she got one of the biggest laughs out of me in this episode when the Nazi meets Stein and he's met the singer before. He goes, or he's not met him, but he knows that he's 6 foot tall. He's like, but this singer's 6 foot tall. Sarah
just
immediately,
drops.
Sarah just sort of slouches down to make Stein look taller, and it just really cracked me up. It was such a simple little gag.
I think it was that, and it was just a bit before when they were going into the club, and she just shrugs off her jacket onto the guy, and she's just like, she just completely owns the role.
Also, I'm really glad that the Nazi made a comment about Jax being black, because see when they walked into the Nazi party, I'm like, wait a minute, this is a room full of Nazis. They're going
I buy the doorman just because of this guy's celebrity status, and it's like, nope, just go. I don't want to do anything.
Because I remember we complained that the episode in the 50s last season, they crammed too many social issues, like in, prejudices into one episode, and it felt kind of packed because there was, the gay stuff, the black stuff, like everything was packed into it.
Yeah.
Whereas,
it's like, you're a time travel show. You're going to come back. You can do it in the future.
Whereas with this, I was like, wait, if not one Nazi mentions that he's black, there's something I miss here, because the Nazis, they are like the most, like they're worse than 1950s America.
Yeah.
But
like, it was the right amount of referencing, I think.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I'm going to question this, but we're not going to dedicate 20 minutes to it either.
But at the same time, they'll even get a good laugh out of it because Jax wanted to immediately punch him and Ray stops him because it's not worth it. We're here to do a job. You know, we have to blend in.
It'll be a bit worth it.
But then as soon as the Nazi tries to make him salute Hitler, he's like, yeah, screw this, and he just throws a punch. And Jax is like, hey.
My favourite bit is when he's got this excuse. It's like, oh, I got a crick in my neck, I can't try. He pretends to try like 3 times, and then he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, so echoing our statements from last week, the show's fun. It's having fun with what it's doing. It's cracking jokes. It's, you know...
I'm still a little bit worried because the first few episodes of last season were very good, very fun.
Yeah, we had, you know, still in the first 2 from last season. 3 was a bit of a dip, but it wasn't like, you know, danger territory yet.
But 4 and 5 were a bit shakier.
So it'll be interesting to see how we feel next week. But
yeah,
2 good episodes. So that's good.
I might say this was better than the last one as well. So, you know,
I would agree with that.
Even in the first season, I thought 2, while very good, still was weaker than the first.
Yeah. Also, I like that they're building the Legion of Doom because we see Reverse Flash and he gives this serum to Captain Nazi, he's known as in the comics. Yeah, there's a character called Captain Nazi. Wrap that around your heads.
Well, it's just because he's basically Captain America, but a Nazi.
Well, yeah, but it's funny. Yeah, Marvel, you keep Captain America, we've got Captain Nazi.
It's way better.
But yeah, he takes this serum. It's basically, the Legion are trying to get this artifact that Hitler's got, so Reverse Flash is trading this serum so that Hitler can have a army of super soldiers. And they even call it super serum. Is the super serum in Captain America called super serum? I feel like it is. It sounds like it is.
It might well be, now that you mention it.
Yeah. But I was like, no, it can't be the exact same title. It can't be. But whatever. So when the Legends and the JSA show up to stop this transaction, Captain Nazi injects himself, and we get the show's attempt at a sort of CGI abomination style character.
Probably my biggest problem with the episode, he does not look good at any point.
Do you know, he doesn't look good, but I'm going to kind of defend it.
Go on.
He fits the tone of the show.
Don't get me wrong, he fits goofy, but there was a few... You know when he's chasing after Commander Steel, he just looks out of place. Like, he doesn't quite mesh with the background. And it's like, it's fine. I don't know, I can forgive it. But it was noticeable.
I don't know, I feel like I'm in this weird place where I'm just kind of happy to do something wacky like this, rather than...
Oh, I'd so much rather they do this and have it look like this than not do it at all, don't get me wrong.
Because I'd rather have this than them try and trick us with like what they used to do with the Hulk TV show and have a muscly actor come in and pretend it's the same guy. Like, I don't know, I'll take this over that because I can accept that it's a comic book show and it's kind of goofy and some effects aren't going to be that great. I mean, and I guess it's because he's more humanoid, he sticks out more than, say, King Shark did on Flash. Because I thought King Shark looked pretty good on Flash for what he was. Same
Not even just what he was. King Shark looked fantastic.
Same with Grodd. Grodd typically has looked pretty good on Flash. So I feel like because it is more humanoid is why it...
I get that. And
it doesn't work as well.
Let's say it's a minor complaint. I'm not really bothered by it, but it just stuck out, that's all.
Yeah. Also, I love that... I kind of love and hate, but I love that Vixen says, "Oh, Ray, you're a real hero now because you had a chance of getting a superpower and you gave it up to save someone else." No, that's not being a hero. Ray's got a powered suit. He'd be a complete dick if he just kept that for himself.
You get that,
especially when it's not just about saving the guy. Like, if it was just about who gets the power, then fair enough. But the guy's dying if he doesn't get this. Haywood is dying if he doesn't get this. So it's not just being a hero. He would just be a dick if he didn't.
That said, there was a few times that I loved that the JSA were being inspiring.
Also, oh yeah, JSA being inspiring, good. I love that Obsidian doesn't say a word the entire episode. He just uses his powers, makes things dark.
I think he acknowledges something maybe once or twice.
He maybe nods or something. I don't know, but I don't think he had a line. He was quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
I assume this is not the last we've seen of the JSA. In fact, I was almost convinced...
Well, we had, what's his name cast as Obsidian, didn't he? We had
True.
someone, I can't remember who now. We got a casting for Obsidian though, and it was someone.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We'll probably see more of them then. That said, though, because Vixen's on the poster, I was assuming she was going to decide to come along with the Legends for a while.
Maybe that'll still happen.
Maybe.
In a while.
It's because on the poster she's like there quite prominently with the rest of the Legends.
I wonder if that's just because we've seen a Vixen in Arrow, and they're like, people will recognize the outfit.
Which, by the way, since you brought that up, this one's a much better actress than the one on Arrow.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to argue with that.
Because the one on Arrow was dire. Like,
Can I just say, I also love that they kept calling her Animal Woman because it's
Yeah.
basically Animal Man's powers.
yeah. Which makes sense that they would call her that. That's like the natural jumping.
It is. Don't
Name
get me
to
wrong,
go
and
to.
I'm okay with that. But I loved it anyway. For that.
Also, I actually liked how they showed her powers because not only did you see the sort of the CGI sort of like hologram, if you will, around her of the animal, but I loved it as she, even when you didn't see that and you just see her like run past doing something, they'd put like the sound effect in of the animal. Like, so at one point she's like running across really fast and you hear like a cheetah or something.
Yeah.
And the sound effects, and I thought, oh, that was actually quite a nice little trick.
It was good.
It just lets us know exactly what she's doing.
Do you want to know what probably is my biggest problem?
Go on.
They didn't have enough Stargirl. I mean, they might fix this and give us more later.
We might
But
get her
Stargirl
more,
is like
yeah.
my favorite JSA character.
Well, let's be honest. Commander Steel's obviously and Vixen obviously get the most screen time out of the GSA because they're
They
the
do.
ones that interact and have connections with the others. Well, Commander Steel does. Vixen just kind of gets thrown together with one of them, and that's all fine. I hope we get more of the other ones later, and we probably should. Oh, except from our man, obviously.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that.
Because obviously the end of the episode is that Reverse Flash is not happy that he's not got his artifact, so he shows up at the GSA headquarters and kills our man.
I love. All right, two things here. I love that Thorne's like he's so engrossed in time travel. It's not just Barry that he goes up against. He's like, nah, I'm coming all the way back here for this.
Yeah, I do love. I think Reverse Flash is probably the best villain out of this entire shared universe of all these shows.
Yeah, because I love that he mentions that he's met Owlman like so many times, and it's like, oh yeah, this is what it should feel like.
But he just kills him straight out. So now because they even mentioned that that's why he fades away. Even we didn't see that at the end of season 1, but when we see the flashback in this episode, we
Yeah.
find out that our man fades away right after he tells him.
And then
the
my
warning.
second thing is, does this mean that now we can get one of the other Owlmans in? Because
Possibly.
the android Owlman is very time traveling. Because he's from the future, so that could be cool.
Yeah. Do you know, actually, it's funny. Actually, as much as I enjoyed the JSA in this episode, there was a couple of characters I was like, oh, I kind of wish they were also here. Like, I'm expecting Jay Garrick at one point. In fact, I think even one of the descriptions mentions that Jay is going to be involved.
One of the there was an interview with I can't remember his name. Guy plays Jay, and
Yeah.
he said he is the leader of this JSA.
Of this JSA or the JSA?
Well, he said the JSA. But
So it's probably in present day JSA.
probably.
Yeah, I
But
imagine.
then
so.
again,
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, who knows? But that makes sense. So that means Alan Scott feels like he's missing.
that is the big one, frankly.
That's a big deal, and also I do miss Sand. I feel like Sand not being around is
Yeah,
kind of weird, but
no, I get that. But
otherwise-
I'll tell you what we can get as a first step. If this is the first step to let's have a full-fledged GSA at some point down the line, and have it like actually have a legacy and have like 50 odd members, I'm down for that.
yeah. I mean, they would never do this because they would never change the title of the show. But the idea that the Legends just become like the new generation of JSA, incorporate a few new members, because having White Canary, because Black Canary was in the JSA, so White Canary is kind of like
Yeah.
The Hawks, as much as I could do without the Hawks coming back because they were terrible last season.
The great thing about the Hawks in the GSA is they were always kind of just guests. They were always in and out. So I'd be okay for them just kind of popping here and there.
Yeah, so Reverse Flash kills our man, and our man, just before he dies, manages to say to Vixen that it was a time traveler who killed him. So
Which I kind of dread a little bit because it feels like, oh, forced drama. They're going to mistake it for the Legends.
they may, although I can. What I can actually see happen is I can see the JSA somehow, like, telling the Legends will find out how this like a time traveler killed them,
Mm.
and I was actually thinking one of them might see how he died, or it might tell them that he put his hand through his chest, because I was thinking that when we get to the Flash, the crossover, that when they mention, oh yeah, a time traveler killed someone in the 40s by putting his hand through his chest, that the Barry would be
Barry
like,
just
oh
knows,
wait,
yeah.
yeah, I know who that is.
I think there's two ways I can see them playing it when with that whole last line of the mid-traveler. Like I said, that they'll think it was the Legends,
Or ask them for help.
ask for the help.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, time travelers, let's get in the ones that we know. Could go either way. I hope it's the latter.
You think that idiot Rex would have been like, time traveler, not the Legends? Ugh.
You'd think, but no.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. This was actually pretty damn good.
It was good. I'm almost dreading if it gets worse. I really am.
I am, because this is like they've really got my hopes up now. I'm into this again. I'm like, okay, second chance. You had your second chance and you delivered.
Because I know that Guggenheim's still on the writing staff, and that terrifies me.
It is terrifying. Every day I think, but Googie could ruin the JSA. I mean, we got lucky this time, but can that hold out forever?
Just keep it fun. If you're going to have a relationship, don't have them to have the same goddamn conversation every week. Don't have it be the focus. Have it happen throughout the content of the actual plot. Keep Sarah fun, because she's great when she's fun. And I like her being the leader, the captain. I actually think that's a good idea.
I can't wait to see her. You know when like Snart comes back and she has to pull rank on him.
Well, we know he's going to be in the Legion of Doom, so...
Yeah, but I'm sure something will happen.
Because it's worth noting that Snart's actually a regular for all 4 shows. He's not assigned to this, which is why I don't think he's going to be a permanent team member ever again. I feel like, maybe next season I suppose, but I feel like this season he'll be someone who bounces around, so he won't be...
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Same with Jay. Jay's a regular for all 4 shows, which is why he will definitely pop up in Legends at some point.
Yeah.
So that'll be good fun. Oh man, there's a lot of crossover potential. I can see like Jay popping up in like Supergirl or something.
I think that's kind of why I love Legends. Just even with the disappointment of season 1 as a core concept, it's like it just invites so much from this whole universe.
Yeah, they can do a lot of wacky stuff here. Which is kind of why if we're getting 5 episodes of the crossover, because Amel mentioned in an interview it was going to be 5 episodes instead of 4, which would mean that one show gets 2 episodes. I feel like Legends might be the one that it happens in.
I think it's Supergirl, because I'm sure somewhere I saw confirmed that Arrow was the 3rd part.
Oh, right, okay, that would make sense. It was Supergirl then.
So I think it might be in Supergirl that's the first and last.
It's fine with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Legends episode 2. It was very good, surprisingly. So
fingers crossed for next week.
Hey, I'll take 3 of these out of 4 being good. I will happily take that.
Hey, yeah, that's good odds. I mean, I can live through Arrow once a week. I mean, I'm not sure my liver can live through it, but I can.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Did you enjoy it as much as we did? Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you next time.